pair of shorts to surf in, and a pair of shorts to run in, and a pair of shorts to play tennis in, and a pair of, just buy one pair of shorts. And I can tell you that Kelly Slater is not going to surf any better in his $60 surf trunks than he is in a pair of cut-off jeans. In fact, the more you know, the less you need. And that's kind of the way I think we have to go. I mean, we're all the problems of the world right here with our consuming. We're consuming the resources of 7 planets. That's not very close to sustainability, is it?
Yvon, in 1991, on July 31st, you had what you coined Black Wednesday, where you had to lay people off in your company.
Yeah.
It sounds like it was a very painful decision for you to make, and I can understand that. I think you've kind of addressed the issue already, but is there any advice you would give these young people as far as how better to prepare and weather difficult economic times, both personally and professionally, if they are in business?
Well, what really got us through those difficult times is I took a dozen of the key people in the company, and out of those dozen, not one had an MBA, not one had ever been in business school. They were all anthropologists, and they studied biology, and I mean, I got a degree in auto mechanics from John Burroughs High School. And we all went out kind of in the desert, We went to Patagonia, the real Patagonia. We walked around and we sat down and we said, well, okay, why are we in business? What are our values? What are we trying to do? I mean, we got a good chance of losing this whole thing. And so we sat down and started writing the philosophy of the business. Starting, okay, what are our values? Well, number one, we were all climbers and kayakers and skiers, and so the equipment was really important to us. So we said, okay, one value is we want to make the best product. Not among the best, but we want to make the very, very best. That's really important for us because it feels good when you're making the best stuff. And secondly, we want to have flex time so that we can go on expeditions for 3-4 months at a time and not have everything fall apart. So we got to have flex time. Another value is we don't want to leave our kids at home or quit working when we get pregnant. So that's really important that we blur the distinction between work and play and family. We want to just blend all that together. We want to work at our play, want to play at our work, and we want to have our family together with us. And then there was some other values and stuff, but and then the other thing is, we started realizing that we didn't want to be greaseball businessmen. We don't want to, we're coming kind of from the 60s and stuff, and we didn't want to be part of the problem. We wanted to be part of the solution. So we added a second part to our mission statement, which was cause no unnecessary harm. It didn't say cause no harm because there's no such thing as sustainability. There's no such thing as making a product that doesn't cause harm. So we said, okay, cause no unnecessary harm. So we're going to minimize the damage that we do by using non-renewable resources and making climbing gear and clothing and stuff like that. And then later we added a third part. As the environment started collapsing more and more, and we started seeing, boy, this isn't enough. We have to do more. We added a third part to our mission statement, which is to use business to inspire and implement solutions to the environmental crisis. Well, when we came out with that third part, a lot of my own employees were saying, what environmental crisis is he talking about? Well, we all know now, right? Things aren't getting any better. So that last part is going to happen if we can achieve the first two parts. Make the best product. You know, every time I've had a problem to solve in business, the answer has always been to add quality. Let's say your profit is down for the year. It's because your quality slipped. And every single time, the answer is to increase the quality. And that's hard to get across to accountants. You know, you put in a child care center and they're saying, you know what, this is just going to cost you a lot of money to do this. You're not going to get it back. That's not true at all. We've got 70-something% women who we can't afford to lose when they get pregnant. And the best product we produce is the kids that come out of our child care center.
We talk about ethics in our business classes and the importance of social responsibility, and
That's unusual, because I had the president of Yale University come to see me to try to convince me to do a fellowship at Yale, because the business school was teaching all these classes in business with not one class in environmental responsibility. And the School of Forestry and Environmental Studies was doing all these classes, not one business class. This complete disconnect, and they could see that what my company is trying to do is combine those two. That's unusual. Exactly. If you're doing it here.
Well, we do it in a small part, but we think it's an important part of a student's education that in business, in entrepreneurship, that we at least talk about and discuss the importance of ethics and social responsibility. And I'm also delighted to hear you talk about and encourage these young people to live and examine life and be curious. It's one of the things I encourage my students on a regular basis. I frequently tell them, and they're tired of hearing it, I know, that information and knowledge is power. It's somewhat cliche, but for you to say to go and find out and learn and investigate and be curious is a powerful message for our students to hear tonight, and I appreciate you sharing that with them. But I also think that to take on the kinds of challenges you have requires a certain type of leadership. And so I want to share with you as kind of a parting shot this evening, something that I think reflects very much about you. And this is, from all places, the United States Military Academy in their leadership training. And it reads as follows. It says, if leaders are not looking for the truth, if the situations are not framed as having moral implications in the first place, then these leaders make decisions based on other criteria, as often with disturbing results. Moral sensitivity alone is not enough. Once leaders recognize that a moral problem exists, then they have to decide what is right. I think you've demonstrated that for us tonight. This requires moral judgment, discerning which action is most justifiable based on a set of ethical criteria. Without the courage to take action, to do the right thing, all moral awareness and judgment is for naught. True leaders like you, Mr. Chouinard, true leaders of character, demonstrate moral courage to choose the harder right over the easier wrong, over and over again. And for that we thank you, and for coming out and being with us this evening, we thank you immensely. Let's all thank Mr. Chouinard. Thank you.
For more information about the Scheinfeld Program for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, visit sbcc.edu/